Okay. Hey, everybody, it's Craig Syracusa, Walk in Faith. I'm excited to be sitting down with Rob Oliva, good friend of mine, friends with Jill as well, from St. Francis College, who is the Director of Recruitment and Admissions. Rob, thank you so much.
Craig, thanks so much for meeting with me. I'm so glad to join you today.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, so I'm a student of St. Francis College, so I have a special connection to St. Francis College. So first of all, in case people aren't familiar with St. Francis College, I know you said you changed the motto, but can you tell us a little bit about St. Francis College?
Yeah, absolutely. Many will know us as St. Francis College, the small college of big dreams. And very recently, you'll see on our website that at St. Francis College, we are driven by dreams. And we've been proud to be educating young people from New York City and beyond for 160 years. We were blessed that 160 years ago, the Franciscan brothers came from County Galway in Ireland, traveled across that Atlantic Ocean, and they settled in the heart of it all, Brooklyn, New York, USA. They settled down on Court Street between Baltic and Butler Streets, and they opened up as St. Francis Academy. And out of St. Francis Academy became St. Francis Prep High School, which went to Williamsburg, then to Fresh Meadows, Queens. And we stayed true to our Brooklyn roots. And about 50 plus years ago, we left Carroll Gardens, Cobble Hill, and made our home on Remsen Street in Brooklyn Heights.
Wow. I mean, personal experience of St. Francis College. I love it. I've been to several colleges, and St. Francis College, when you walk in, there's like that family atmosphere. You get to know people on a one-on-one basis. And I love attending events. It's just something that you don't see in other colleges. So when they first started, not 160 years ago, but has enrollment, has it increased, decreased, or what was it when they first started, say 100 years ago, 80 years ago?
Well, 160 years ago, St. Francis College was educating immigrant families. At that time, in 1859, it was predominantly Irish and Italian immigrant families. And the beauty of the work of the Franciscan brothers and what they did over 160 years, they kept educating immigrant communities. And at St. Francis College, we celebrate the rich diversity that is New York City, the rich diversity that is the world. And I like to say that we celebrate harmony in diversity in a very special way. One of the things that I also like sharing with those who don't know St. Francis College, I like to share our purpose. I like to share the why of our institution. And you mentioned it as a student. I know you feel it. I know you live it every time you walk in our building. And it's simple. St. Francis College provides a learning environment where everyone belongs, so that everyone in our community has the opportunity to dream, serve, and achieve. Dream big, serve the community and one another, and achieve greatness.
I love that. I love the serving part. I think that's something that we should all work towards. So now let's just say, because you said about diversity, what about if somebody doesn't have a religious background, if they're atheists, or maybe they're not Catholic, or maybe they are? Is this a college predominantly for Christians or Catholics?
One of the best parts of a Catholic Franciscan education is that we focus on an all-inclusive education, and we open our doors to all. And I would like to highlight the good work of Dr. Alexandria Egler and Mr. Tim Naj, who oversee our Office of Mission, Ministry, and Interfaith Dialogue. And our students, regardless of their religion, regardless of their background, are able to connect in a real way. Celebrating diversity and celebrating inclusiveness is something that has been core to a Franciscan education and to Franciscan values since the days that Francis of Assisi walked in that small town in Italy in the 1200s.
Wow. I mean, I've seen that firsthand, obviously, attending college there, attending events, working with you, being friends with you. And then also, too, on Facebook, I've seen you traveling, I think, around the world, bringing the St. Francis College, the values, the mission statement to other countries. But now, unfortunately, there's the pandemic. So if you could mention some of the places you've been in, I know for one thing for a fact, is it the water polo team? I think you have the best water polo team, and you've recruited some of the players from other countries. And I mean, you have an amazing sports program, but where are some of the places your students come from, and where have you traveled just to spread the St. Francis message?
So one of the programs that we are most proud of is what we call Sfc International. And SFC International is an area that is managed by Dr. Reza Fakhari, who is our Vice President for Internationalization. And we focus on several areas and really the comprehensive internationalization of our campus. So we focus on international recruitment, we focus on international marketing and communications, international study abroad, international curricular experiences in the classroom, and international co-curricular experiences in a very real way. So part of it, and part of the area that I'm involved in, is the recruitment of students from around the world. And you mentioned our water polo team. Our men's water polo team is coached by Bora Dimitrov, a graduate of St. Francis College, a water polo alumnus. He hails from Serbia. So there is a huge international Eastern European population of water polo players, and they're nationally ranked each and every year. And we're hoping once we do return to normal, their season is in the fall, that the Terriers will be at the top and hopefully be on the path to making the national Final Four. But the places that I have gone recently include Brazil. I was able to travel to Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo. I was able to travel to the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo. I was able to travel also to Trinidad and Tobago in Port of Spain. And we are so proud of the relationships that we've built with students, with parents, with government officials, with community leaders, with other colleges in the areas that we've traveled to, because one of the things that we believe in is a comprehensive approach to building relationships, right? One of the things that we are most proud of is we are able to give our students the opportunity to compete for full tuition scholarships.
Wow.
Right? And we've made this scholarship competition open to our international students as well. And I'd like to share with you that this competition is there are hundreds of participants. And because of our personal approach to our international recruitment efforts on the international front, we were able to offer scholarships, full tuition scholarships to international students from Serbia, from the Dominican Republic, from Trinidad and Tobago, and from Brazil. So those are areas that we have built these personal connections and these personal relationships. And we are proud of that. At the current moment, we are not traveling internationally, but we are still committed to communicating with these students. So the beauty of WhatsApp, the beauty of Viber, the beauty of Zoom has allowed us to connect with international students in a real way. Just on Friday, our Assistant Director of International Student Services, Grayson Savoy, he hosted a workshop on the I-20 and visa process.
Wow.
And you know, these sessions are meant to go an hour and a half, but it went 2 hours because the students were so engaged in the work that they were doing with Grayson.
That's amazing. So just two questions on that. You said there's a competition. Can you explain that a little bit more? And what are the benefits of diversity? So let's just say I'm attending college. I'm from the New York area, but now I have, several students that come from other countries, Brazil. Is that an advantage or disadvantage to have that diversity as you go into the real world?
One of the key differentiating factors of a St. Francis College education is our affordability. So we offer very generous merit-based scholarships. We offer very generous need-based scholarships. So we actually have a scholarship program where students get to come to campus. They get to write an essay, which is graded by the faculty, and they actually select the recipients of these full tuition presidential scholars. So we did that, as I said, with international students and with domestic students. One of our marquee scholarship programs on campus is also the Robert J. Mcguire Scholarship. Robert J. Mcguire was the former police commissioner. He was the police commissioner of the NYPD of the city of New York when Dr. Frank Macchiarola, former president of St. Francis College, was the chancellor of the New York City Public Schools. And when Dr. Macchiarola passed away, Fred Wilpon and Judy Wilpon, the owner of the New York Mets, were overcome with the support of the St. Francis College community towards Dr. Macchiarola and his family, that he wanted to name a scholarship in honor of Robert Mcguire, who served in government. And again, that concept of service, who served in government with Dr. Macchiarola. So we've been blessed that a number of students received the Robert J. Mcguire Scholarship each and every year. So we're bringing affordability to the next level, and we can really compete and make St. Francis College as affordable as local public colleges and universities. So that answers, part A of your question. So we're trying to create an affordable environment for our students. Secondly, when you talk about diversity, as I said earlier, and as I started, we celebrate harmony in diversity in a very real way. I remember when I was a student at St. Francis College, I came to St. Francis from Severian High School in Bay Ridge. I'm a proud Clipper. I'm a proud Terrier. And when I walked through the doors of St. Francis College, I was I made great friends with students who were from Trinidad and Tobago. I don't think before I entered in the doors of St. Francis College that I ever met anyone who hailed from Trinidad and Tobago. So when I came in, they were warm, they were welcoming, they made me feel like I belonged. So just think how much of a privilege it is for me to go to Trinidad and Tobago to recruit students, to give them the St. Francis College experience. And, I was president of student government, and I gave my farewell address, and I started really within the first couple sentences of my speech saying, today I officially consider myself an honorary citizen of the Twin Republics of Trinidad and Tobago. And as you can imagine, the audience or those who were in the church, they went wild because they know how much the friendships and relationships that I built with the students from Trinidad, how much it meant to me, how much it meant to my family, and how much the college means to me and meant to them. So when we're able to celebrate diversity, we're able to understand the world in a very special way. And by providing our students with experiences to study abroad, with experiences, excuse me, to work with faculty members who are from around the world, it's really special. Take Professor Olivia Bullion-Matos from Brazil. She has taken St. Francis College students to Brazil to study and has done reciprocal exchange programs, just giving students the opportunity. Many students may not have had that opportunity if they were not to come to St. Francis College. So by exposing them to the world, definitely makes the world a little smaller, but gives us the opportunity to share this Franciscan spirit, not just in our building at 180 Remsen Street, but beyond.
I love that. I mean, I think diversity is so important, and you guys are obviously, you're doing that firsthand. So now, okay, in terms of recruitment and, because of the pandemic, we're not able to travel. How are you recruiting and how are you working in terms of the admissions now? Do you see an increase, a decrease? Are you still able to recruit people and students from other countries?
So, that's a great question, Craig, because one of the things I am most proud of is the work of our admissions team. And actually the work of every member of the St. Francis College community under the leadership of our president, Dr. Miguel Martinez Saenz. Very quickly, we were able to adapt to an online educational environment for our current students. And then every member of the college community in a very quick amount of time was able to begin working remotely. For those of us who work in admissions, and the reason why I'm so proud of their work is that we really make a living by building bonds, building relationships, inviting students to our campus, meet with them one-on-one, have conversations. We like to say those who bond win. Those who build relationships really are the ones who are more likely to enroll at the college because we make them feel as though they belong. In the beginning of March, all of our visits to high schools were put on hold. All of our visits to travel abroad were put on hold. And one of the things that you'll probably know, those who work in admissions, it's all type A personalities, right? It's all energetic people who like to be, you can't tell by my
Lucky Rob.
that like to interact, that like to engage. So very quickly, they had to change course. But with their feedback, we were able to go completely online. All appointments are now done through Zoom. Students are able to connect with their personal admissions counselor through Zoom on a daily basis. Students are able to connect with student ambassadors, current students, through Zoom. We're able to do immediate admissions decisions through Zoom. So we've been able to do that. We've also been able to promote and really produce over 40 Zoom information sessions. Most recently, we were able to host a Zoom, we called it Admitted Student Day 2.0, which was our interactive Admitted Student Day for students this past Saturday. And a couple hundred students participated in a day where they got to interact. They got to interact with each other, key stakeholders on campus, and really get a feel virtually of what the St. Francis College experience is all about. So I'm proud that we haven't been able to miss a beat. Our acceptances are have increased year over year. Our applications have increased year over year. And I think it's a true testament to the personal approach that we are able to give every student who even thinks about attending St. Francis College. But I really would like to highlight, we've been really able to be compassionate, especially during this global pandemic. We've been able to reach out to students and not even talk about the admissions process, but just listen to them, listen to what's going on in their life. And we hope that just by connecting and just by picking up the phone, we can connect with them. And if they decide to attend St. Francis College, great. One of the greatest things that we get to experience is when we pick up the phone and we congratulate someone on their acceptance. When they tell us that they're ready to commit to St. Francis College, we are overcome with joy because we know we can bring joy and happiness to students, parents, and families during this very difficult time.
That's amazing. I got like 3 questions. I'm going to put them all in one. So one is one about, do you see, and first of all, I don't know, I mean, you guys offer obviously summer program. Do you know if you're going to be open for the summer? First part of the question. Second is, do you see sort of an adapted version of where you'll offer Zoom? Say I can't make the class, or if I'm in another country, or for whatever reason, you'll have in-class sessions, but also offer Zoom classes or a combination. And then also, what about some of the anxiety that some of the high school seniors are going through right now, where they're not going to be able to graduate? They're going to go straight to college. That's a huge transition. How are you handling that? And also, last part of the question is graduation for St. Francis seniors. I know that's usually, I'm not sure if it's June at St. Joseph's Co-Cathedral. How are you handling that?
So, I'll try. If I miss anything, just let me know. So, we will be online for the summer. We have already made that announcement that we will be online for the summer. It is our hope that we will be on campus in person come the fall of 2020 to begin. But we are preparing, if that doesn't happen, to operate in a hybrid environment, right? So one of the best things is that members of our faculty, many who have already been certified in online learning, are already working with students and teaching on those platforms, and they're doing great things. So we are going to prepare to open. But our faculty are being trained and getting ready to operate in a hybrid environment if we needed to work in that hybrid environment. Third, you talk about the anxieties of students, of high school seniors. And when I think about what they're going through, we empathize with them and we sympathize with them because we're all going through the same things. As a matter of fact, our seniors are going through the same things that high school seniors are going through because there's a lot of loss in their lives. And when I think about loss, I don't even think about, or I'm not referencing the loss of loved ones, right? That's something that's really separate and aside from, and ever so important, and ever so close to home. But what I would like to highlight is that there are seniors who missed their prom. They miss their championships in sports when they're competing for city and state titles. They're missing interactions with friends. They're missing interactions with faculty. They're missing going around getting their yearbook signed. They're missing senior cut day. I'm not that naive to know that senior cut day doesn't exist anymore. But they're missing honors award ceremonies. They're missing graduation. So we understand what they are going through. As a matter of fact, we know that there are additional anxieties and additional stresses that take place in the lives of students. So at our information sessions, we actually have a representative from our health and wellness area to talk through some of the issues that students may be experiencing at the moment. And there are a number of activities that they have made available, which are usually available to current students. They've made them available to prospective students. I'm also a part of an association called the New York State Admissions Counselors Association. It's NYSACAC, and Natasha Edwards, who runs our health and wellness program on campus, has volunteered to do an hour of meditation for members in New York State ACAC, those who are working with high school students on their path to a college education. So we're doing things to make sure that we're able to give opportunity, and where there is not normalcy in the lives of high school students, we're going to try to create that normalcy, but we're also going to be able to provide them with some services to get their mind out of all the negativity and bring the positivity into their life. And as a matter of fact, regarding graduation, we are committed to celebrating the class of 2020 for St. Francis College. Yeah, as you know, and you've been very helpful, we have had our baccalaureate mass, both at the Co-Cathedral and at St. James Basilica. We do have a date at the end of August that will be at the Coney Island Amphitheater. So we hope to get together and celebrate the class of 2020. And one of the things that we've been talking about, Craig, is doing a passing of the torch event, which would welcome the class of 2024, or the high school class of 2020.
I like that.
Passing the torch from St. Francis College's class of 2020.
That's a great idea. That would give them sort of, in a sense, break the ice, because there is a lot of anxiety. I know, relatives and stuff like that are graduating from high school or junior high school. It's a big transition, and like you said, they don't have that ability to do that right now. So there's going to be a lot of built up anxiety, and sometimes kids don't know how to show it, or they don't feel comfortable enough. So just one thing I should have asked you before. I'm looking at that sign. Thank you, Brother George. I'm assuming that you want me to ask you the question. So what is that to the right of you? Can you tell me?
So in the world of Zoom backgrounds, sometimes we have to take things and do things old school. So, thanks to my son and my wife, we've been doing some crafting and some activities. We're able to put different signs together. And I always like to have an inspiring message or something that motivates us or brings attention to the work that we're doing. So on May 1st is actually Religious Brothers Day. And the college, through our Office of Mission Ministry and Interfaith Dialogue, has called upon us to really bring recognition and sincerely thank the Franciscan brothers and all religious brothers who have really set us up for where we are now. And we would not be where we are without their love, their dedication, their support, by living lives that are filled with compassion, zeal, simplicity. They really live lives and have made a difference in the lives of so many students. And the focus of the Franciscan Brothers of Brooklyn, those who have educated at the college, really has been on education and changing lives and being transformative. And one of the people who really impacted me most, and there are a number of them, members of the faculty, members of the administration, but the man that really impacted me most was a Franciscan brother by the name of George Larkin. And George Larkin was the Dean of Admissions at St. Francis College. And he's passed for about 10 years now. But he was the first person who greeted me when I walked through the doors of St. Francis College to attend the open house in October of 1999. He made me feel like I belonged. That recurring theme of belonging was instilled in me by Brother George Larkin, Franciscan brother, Dean of Admissions at St. Francis College. Don't ask me what I learned at the open house in October of 1999.
You remember that. Those couple of words impacted your life and helped you make the decision. That was like the affirmation that you needed.
It was the affirmation, because at that open house, I fell in love with people. And when I walked out, Brother George was there saying goodbye to everyone. And he said, "Hey, what did you think?" I said, "I loved it." You fast forward 3 months later, I get called down to my high school guidance office. and my guidance counselor, Bob Violetto, gets on speakerphone and says, "Hey, George, I have Rob here. I'm going to send him down to you." Okay. I didn't know who George was.
Yeah, yeah.
Little did I know that it was Brother George Larkin who welcomed me to the campus at St. Francis College. I walked through the door. Security said, "Hey, Rob, we know you're here to see Brother George." I said, "What? You know who I am?" I go up to the admissions office on the second floor. Brother George doesn't say a word to me. He waves at me. I sit down next to him. He pushes a piece of paper in front of me. It was my acceptance letter to St. Francis College, personally signed by him, personally handed to me by him. Incredible. It changed my life. He transformed my life. And he really, really took care of me when I was a student. Whenever I needed anything, who did I go to? I went to my brother George, right? And, you know, he always used to refer to me, "What's going on, my man?" So I always built a great relationship. I know that he probably would have wanted me to be a Franciscan brother. But the next best thing that happened was a couple years ago, President Miguel asked me if I was interested in changing over from special events and moving over from special events to work in admissions and recruitment. And the first person I thought of was Brother George Larkin. Hence the reason why I'm thanking him. And you want to know how things come full circle? The same letter that Brother George hand signed for me. Now today, I have the distinct honor of signing interior blue ink, the acceptance letter of every single student accepted to St. Francis College. It's an honor I take very seriously. And every single time I sign a letter, I think of Brother George. So in a real way, to celebrate Religious Brothers Day, I have this sign. So Brother George, from above, I thank you so much for inspiring me, because I want to have the same impact on the lives of students that you had on me.
And listen, I know you a few years now, maybe 10 years, and I think you definitely are. I mean, you've impacted my life, and anytime I would work with you or help out at events or attended events, the way you interact with the students is something you just don't see in other colleges, or even just in general. So now just one last thing. If there's someone out there that, you know, maybe there's 2-3 different colleges that they're deciding between, whether they're from the United States or beyond, what would be the 1 or 2 things why they should come to St. Francis College, or if they walk away from this interview, something that they will remember based on what you've said?
Well, that's an easy one, Craig, because these are conversations that I have over and over again with students. If you're a high school student and you haven't applied to St. Francis, but by watching this show, you're thinking about it, please go ahead and apply. And if you're still wavering, if you applied to a couple different colleges and universities, hopefully you'll be able to connect with one of our personal admissions counselors who can further guide you every single step of the way. But very succinctly, St. Francis College will offer a personalized approach to your educational experience that really differentiates us. You'll work with transformative faculty. You will be at the center of it all. I like to say that New York City's our campus and Brooklyn's our backyard. We will make the dollars and cents work out. We will make it affordable. And most importantly, we are going to provide you with the network of a lifetime, so much so that you are going to leave a better person than you were when you started. So if you think that what I said is where you want to be, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to continue the conversation.
Well, I would advise people to reach out to you. But now, do you have a website? Do you have any contact information you can share?
Yeah, absolutely. So at St. Francis, our admissions office, you could reach out to us on our website, sfc.edu. That's sfc.edu. You can email us at admissions@sfc.edu, admissions@sfc.edu, or you can check us out on social media at SFCNY. You see that a little plug to my background. You can also check us out at SFC Admissions. And I'm not sure if this is going to air before then, but on Friday, we are going to have an Instagram live session on May 1st at 3 o'clock on Instagram Live. I'm going to be joined with the student Zoe Felix, who is the speaker of all the clubs and organizations on campus. And we're going to do a little interactive piece with an opportunity for those who participate to win some Amazon gift cards to make it fun and exciting. So that's on May 1st, which is traditionally National Decision Day. But we want everyone to know that we've actually extended that. We're going to give students as much time as possible to make their decision.
Wow. Well, Rob, thank you so much. God bless you. Guys, that's a product of St. Francis College. I'm a product of St. Francis College. I love St. Francis College. I would advise people, reach out to Rob, look into the school. You will not be disappointed. Rob, God bless you and your family.
Thank you. You too, Craig.
And yes, this will air before Friday.
All right.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Always remember, you have the ability to inspire and evangelize through words and actions. God bless.